Hello guys, and welcome to my CorelDRAW beginner course. In this video, I'll be explaining to you the CorelDRAW interface. CorelDRAW is a graphic designer software and vector graphics editor that allows you to create illustrations, layouts, logos, business cards for photo editing, creation of brochures, banners, flyers, greeting cards, and many more. So like I said, in this tutorial, I'm going to be explaining to you the CorelDRAW interface. Once you open CorelDRAW, you should be greeted with this welcome screen over here. So most likely you'll find this welcome screen over here. Now, what do we have in the welcome screen? We have this get started, which is what you can see over here. You have the option to create a new document. Depending on the version of CorelDRAW that you are using, you should most likely see all of this. You should also be able to create a workspace. You should be able to open a document if you have a pre-existing document saved somewhere on your PC, or if you want to create a new document from a template that you have created already. To close the welcome screen, you can come over to the welcome screen over here and select this X button over here to close the welcome screen. And you are now in the workspace. To go back to the home screen, all you need to do is to come over to this home button over here and select it, and it will take you right back to the welcome screen. I'm going to close this and take you right into the workspace. At the top here, we have the main menu. You cannot see all of them because we don't have a document created yet. And right under it over here, we have the standard bar over here. And right under it here, we have the properties bar. To my left side here, we have the tools bar. And down over here, we have the status bar. You can't see most of these. They remain unhighlighted because we've not yet created a document. To create a document, there are different ways to do that. The first step is to come over to this new document icon over here, and you can simply select it to create a new document. Now you're going to be greeted with a couple of templates over here for your document. You can select any template you prefer over here and give it a name, and select the number of pages you want to use for that document, maybe 1, 2, 3, and select the primary color you prefer. Select the width, the height, the inches, if you want it in inches, or if you want it in pixels, just set it to whatever you prefer. Set your orientation. Do you want it to be portrait or landscape? Your resolution, 300 is fine, and hit OK. And that will automatically create a new document for you. And as you can see over here, because I selected 3 pages, we have 3 pages over here. To delete this document, all you need to do is to come to this portion over here. And the reason why it's titled Untitled 1 is because I did not give it a name. So the custom name or the default name is Untitled. To delete this document, all you need to do is come over here and hit X. Another way is to come over to this folder over here to open an existing document by browsing to the folder where the document is located on your PC. Or you can select this drop down over here if you have recent files you've worked on. Another way to create documents is to come over here to File and select New, and it will pop up this dialog box where you can set a name. Let me just set this as Beginner, and maybe set this as only 1 page and hit OK. And as you can see, we have just 1 page here, and you can see that the title over here is Beginner. Another thing you can do is to select this plus sign to create another document if you want to work on multiple projects. So if I select this right now, I can name this a different document. Let's say I'm working for a church project. I'm just going to write this church and leave it at number of pages as 1 and just hit OK. And automatically, you can see the beginner project which we are trying to create and the church project for the church project I'm working on. I'm going to delete this right now. Now that we've created our document, you can see that we have more menus over here. You can see that we have our standard bars highlighted. You can see that we have our properties bars now highlighted. And you can see that we have our toolbars now highlighted also. You can also add new pages to your document by coming down to this page 1 over here. You can select this drop down and you can rename this page over here. Rather than calling it page 1, I can decide to name it what this page is about, maybe introduction. You can insert a page after if you have multiple pages. You can insert a page before if you have multiple pages. You can duplicate this page, and you can switch the orientation of this page from portrait to landscape. So if I insert a page after, you can see that I now have 2 pages over here. And if I want to put a page between these 2 pages, I can just select this drop down and put a page after this page. So the new page automatically becomes page 2, and the previous page 2 automatically becomes page 3. To delete this, now you can select this page and delete, and you can select page 2 now and delete this page. Right here we have our color palette, which is where we select colors from. If you come over, you will see some tiny dots over here. When your cursor has turned into these 4 arrows, you can literally drag this color palette to anywhere you like. You can drop it here hanging, you can resize it, you can rescale it to any dimension you prefer. You can move it and drop it at any intervals. For example, when it turns to this gray color, I can leave it up here, and you can also drag it from the corner and bring it to the bottom over here. Basically, you can take it to any portion of the screen you prefer. Another thing you can decide to do is to work on your workspace to fit the way you want it to look. For example, now if you come over here to Window and scroll down to Workspace, you can change it from the default workspace to something else, maybe light. You have some more options here like things to learn in Photoshop and all. You can choose to delete if you don't want this. So I'm just going to go back to Windows and scroll down to Workspace and take it back to my default. You can also edit the color palettes over here. For example, if you select this play button over here, you can ask it to show you the color names. So now you can see the different names for every single color, and there are more colors to this. You can literally scroll down to see all the colors that are presented here. So if you select this play button over here, you can customize it whatever way you prefer. Another thing you can do over here is to change the orientation. You can change the orientation from portrait to landscape, and as you can see, we've changed this to landscape. You can also change it from letter to, let's say, A3 paper to A4 paper. You can also change the template to whatever you prefer. For example, A5, A4, A3, letter, legal, tabloids, and whatever. If you want to create your own custom dimensions, you can change it here directly. You can also change the units from millimeters to inches to pixels to whatever you prefer. Another thing you can do is to hide some segments of the workspace to fit what you like. For example, if you come over here to Window, you can come over to the toolbar over here and decide to hide the standard bar. And you'll notice that the standard bar here is no longer visible. Just in case you are looking for it, select the window, come over to the toolbar over here and check the standard bar. So you can do this for any area. Let's say you come over to the toolbar here and you decide to remove the property bar. You can come over and remove. Let me remove the status bar. Let me remove the menu bar. And to restore your menu bar, all you need to do is to come over to this portion over here and right click and select restore menu bar. You can right click and select restore status bar. So basically you can click on this portion to restore any portion of the interface that you are looking for. We have sliders over here that allows you to slide up and down, and we also have the ones that allows you to slide to the side. But let's say you want to zoom. All you need to do is to select the zoom tool over here, and if you are not with your mouse, you can just hold down Ctrl and minus to zoom out and Ctrl and plus to zoom in. Alternatively, you can come over here to select this zoom in and zoom out over here. Another important tool is the pick tool over here. To give you a good understanding, let's create a basic rectangle. So if I hold this down, you can see that we have the rectangle and the 3-point rectangle. So if I select the rectangle tool and come over here, I can draw a rectangle around my canvas over here. Please note that everything you are drawing should be within your document over here. Whatever you draw outside your document to the left or the right will not be printable. For it to be printable, it needs to be within your documents over here. To draw a perfect square, all you need to do is to hold down Ctrl and draw. And you will notice that you can draw a perfect square. To undo anything, all you need to do is to hit Ctrl Z or Ctrl Z on your keyboard. I'm going to hold down Ctrl while remaining on my rectangle tool over here and draw a perfect square over here. To change the color of the outline of the square, come over to any color you prefer over here and right click it. To change the color of the inside, come over to any color you like over here and select it. To change the thickness of the outline, come over to this point over here, drop it down, and you can increase it to whatever you prefer. To make it more visible, let me make it 24. If you come over to this pick tool over here, you can resize these elements. And you'll notice that as you are making changes over here, there are changes affecting the properties bar over here. You can also move these elements as you prefer. You can also rotate it. To rotate it, all you need to do is to tap it once more. And now you can move it to any degree you prefer. Thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial.